Hello everybody, and in today's video we will be covering Generation X. Released in 1996, Generation X was a pilot movie that was supposed to set off a TV show following the new generation of mutant students at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Believe it or not, but this movie was actually the very first on-screen adaptation of the X-Men. Some people believe it to be the Fox X-Men universe, but it was actually Generation X, and it is a weird movie. The movie follows Jubilee, who a lot of X-Men fans should know, who has the ability to generate fireworks from her fingers. This movie actually has quite a few iconic X-Men. The other protagonist is Angelo Espinosa, sorry if I mispronounced that, with the codename Skin, who has the ability of stretchy skin. Their two main teachers, and in fact the only teachers they have, are Emma Frost, who has loads of abilities, and in the comics is classified as an Omega level mutant, which I believe is the highest danger level set by the Sentinels. The other teacher is Sean Cassidy, aka Banshee, who has like super powered voice. Super loud, supersonic, sonar, shit like that. Jubilee and Skin are not the only members of Generation X though. There is also Monet St. Croix, I believe I'm saying that correctly, otherwise known as M or Penance. I heard both from many different sources. I don't know which is the legitimate name, but she has pretty much every superhuman enhancement on the market. She's got superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, durability, hearing, and psychology, and even night vision. The next member is Mondo, and he doesn't have a code name. He's just Mondo. He pretty much has the same power as Kevin 11 from Ben 10, where anything he touches, he can absorb and make his skin the same material. However, in this adaptation, his skin doesn't actually turn into like steel or rock or wood. It's just he gains the same durability as said material. Next up we have La Jolla Scripps, aka Buff. That's genuinely her name, Buff. La Jolla is her name in the comics. However, in the movie, her name is Harley Hicks, and she's a little unique. So in the comics, I don't believe she has any powers. Yeah, she has no powers in the comics. However, in this adaptation, she has superhuman strength and superhuman speed. But it's just not that simple. Harley has the physique of a buff man, hence the name Buff, which is what gives her the superhuman strength and speed. The final member of the team is Kurt Pastorius, aka Refrax, and he's actually the only original member to the Generation X movie. Every other character here is either adapted from Generation X comics or X-Men comics or something like that. There is actually a Generation X comic with a similar plot and even has Emma Frost and Banshee as the teachers, but with very different stories and characters, to my knowledge. Anyway, Refrax kind of has like a Cyclops-like ability. I compare him to Cyclops, but Refrax wishes he was Cyclops. Refrax not only has laser vision, but he also has X-ray vision. And again, I compared him to Cyclops, which I'm realizing now is kind of a bad comparison, because not only does Cyclops not have heat vision, Refrax does, but he also doesn't have X-ray vision. And again, two very different characters, but Refrax has heat vision and X-ray vision. The main story follows Jubilee discovering she's a mutant and being recruited by Emma and Sean, and Angelo as a kind of second protagonist who is trying to rizz up a baddie in her dreams, if that makes sense. The whole central plot follows the dream world and how to tap into that world. The X-Men have a machine that allows you to tap into the dream world, and this is what Angelo uses to try and pull Kayla. The X-Men have a machine that allows you to tap into the dream world, and this is what Angelo uses to try and pull Kayla. The main villain of the movie also uses the same machine to do his evil doings. Russell Trash is a businessman who works for an advertising agency and originally was going to use the dream machine to tap into people's dreams and get them to buy all the different things that the agency advertises, like Slick Lipstick, Virtua Fighter, and Coffin Nail cigarettes. However, it soon became just kind of a mad scientist wanting to control everybody's dreams, and to do so, he would need the genes of a mutant. He attempts to try and convince Skin to give him the mutant gene by being all buddy-buddy with him while he is trying to raise up Kayla in the dream world. He ends up being defeated by forever falling in an endless pit in the dream world after being dragged down by Skin. Skin survived, but Russell's real-life body is just a lifeless potato, whereas his mind, as mentioned previously, is perpetually falling in the dream world forever. There is one kill in this movie, that being Bob, who is Russell's good buddy / assistant that he forces to jump out of a window via the dream world. After Russell presented the idea of the dream machine to the higher-ups of his agency, of which Bob was a part of, Bob was the final vote for whether or not they should let the machine pass and use it to advertise their products. And Bob, of course, said no, so he had to go. So, in total, there was 1 kill in Generation X. And that's the kill count. I hope you all enjoyed. I actually kind of liked this movie. I kind of digged it. It was okay. It gave me Birds of Prey vibes. Not the movie with Harley Quinn, but there was a TV show back in the day with Oracle, Huntress, and Black Carrie's daughter. That was actually pretty cool. It was a pretty cool TV show. It had like 12 episodes, I think, and the final villain was Harley Quinn. It had Black Canary showed up a little bit, and like I said, Harley Quinn was like the final villain, and it was really cool. It was a cool TV show, but it gave me those vibes heavy. It was like a dark, gothic, early 2000s to late 90s, like, TV show. Well, it wasn't a TV show, it was a movie, but like, if it was a TV show, that's what it would be. If you catch my drift. But yeah, I found myself enjoying the romance in this movie, because there actually is quite a bit. As mentioned previously, Angelo is trying to get with this random fucking girl, Kayla, who is a part of like a frat group. One night when they have a night out, they go to a diner, and Angelo he's getting some feels. He's getting some nice feels from Kayla from across the bar, if you catch my drift. And you know what? He makes a move. Like, well, okay. He doesn't make a move, right? The two girls that Kayla's like mainly hanging out with in the group, kind of mentions that Angelo has been like following them and looking at them really weird. And so one of the guys asks, hey, Angelo, come on over. Come on. It's like, hey, let's get a banana split. So they get a banana split, and then, they shove his face in it, and it's, yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's some romance there. I didn't like that romance. It was weird and creepy. I mean, like, Angelo. Like, Kayla already had feelings for him. He didn't need to go into the dream world whatsoever. It was kind of dumb. But anyway, the other main romance is between Refrax and Buff, which is the one that I actually really liked. So Refrax, right? During one of their night outs, they go to like a kind of like a fireman's picnic type thing. If you all have that, I don't know. That's like actually common thing. It's kind of like a fairground. But during a night out in the fairground, Refrax is like, hey, Arlie, you want to hang out? You want to walk around in the fair? And I was like, yeah, sure, And they have a good time. They do. They actually have a very good time. They end up going to their car and they start making out. And I mentioned previously that Refrax has X-ray vision. However, it hasn't kicked in yet. He knows he has it. He knows he will have it, but he just doesn't know when it's going to kick in. And let's just say Arlie was wearing a particularly loose dress, no bra. His X-ray vision kicked in when they were making out. And that kind of killed the vibe. But Refrax genuinely did not mean for it to happen, and he didn't even see anything. During like the final battle, he apologizes to Arlie in front of everyone and says, I did not mean for it to happen. I didn't see anything. It was a really cool moment, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. The other kind of romance that is not really front and center at all. In fact, it's in a way a ship, which I hate saying that, but in a way a ship. But Jubilee and Mondo, they hang out a lot during the fair, and it looks like could potentially be a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like. Either that or they're just hanging out as friends. I have no fucking clue. But I still like that too. I thought it was really cool. I liked the teen romance in this movie. That was probably my favorite part. But yeah, this is a weird adaptation to be the first ever X-Men adaptation. But I mean, overall, if you haven't seen it, don't watch it. I wouldn't even say it's worth the watch. It's really not that good. And that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video in particular, please consider leaving a like on it. I would really, really appreciate it and help out my channel a lot. If you enjoy all my videos as a whole and you find yourself coming back on the regular, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It's the best way to support my channel, and I would really, really appreciate it. And you don't have to if you don't want to. But that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.